What's up everybody, Sam Smyce here. Today I want to go over how to create the main synth from Bounce by Calvin Harris, and I will be creating this sound in Serum. So before we get started, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, and also please go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoy this type of content. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So Bounce is a classic song by Calvin Harris, so I wanted to show you how to make this synth sound. It's pretty simple to make, but I want to show you a couple things that you need to do in order to get it to sound similar to the original. So let me just show you the MIDI. I actually divided up the high notes of the melody and the low notes and put them on separate tracks because I think in the song, he's panning the high notes to the left a little bit and then the low notes to the right a little bit. I just have Serum loaded up and I have the default preset on, and this is what the high notes sound like by themselves. And so this is what the MIDI looks like. And let me show you the low notes. And this is what the low notes look like. Together, the low notes and the high notes. And that's what it sounds like together. And once I start adding some distortion to these sounds individually, it'll sound a lot better than having these combined into one synth. I will make the sound on the high notes first, and I'll just copy the sound to the low notes. Now for oscillator A, I'm going to go to analog basic shapes and I'm going to do a square wave. And then I'm going to go adjust my envelope 1, and let's just make it a little bit of a plucky envelope. So I'll do this, maybe slow down that attack a tiny bit, and let's hear how that sounds. And then I'll give the sound a bit of a wobble to the pitch, and to do that I'm going to go to LFO 1. And I will assign LFO 1 to the fine tuning on oscillator A. And as it is now, this is going to be pretty drastic. So we need to adjust this fine tuning. I'm going to adjust it to, let's say, 15. And then I'm also going to speed it up. I'm going to turn up BPM and then just raise this rate up to, let's say, 8 Hertz. And now it sounds Game Boy-ish by itself, but that's essentially the effect that I want. So let's go ahead and go on to the filter. Now I want the MG low 12, and I'm going to raise up this drive. And what I'm going to do is assign envelope 1 to the filter cutoff, and I will hit Shift and Option. Let's go ahead and adjust this cutoff. So let's say around 80 to 90 Hertz or so. And then I'm going to take off that upper range to, let's say, 70. Sounds pretty good to me. Now let's go ahead and go to my effects. For the effects, I will do distortion. Calvin Harris uses Logic, and Logic has Bit Crusher. There is no Bit Crusher in Ableton Live. There's a couple of plugins that do similar things, but they don't sound exactly like Bit Crusher. So I need to add on distortion here, and I'm going to do the downsampling. And then after I do this downsampling, I'm going to add some more downsampling and overdrive to this sound. I'm going to lower the drive, but I'll keep that mix at 100%. And that's basically all that I'm going to do in Serum. So once I have that sound done, I'm going to go and add an overdrive. And you can hear that that makes the sound really loud. Unfortunately, there isn't a gain control on the overdrive. So what I did is I just added a utility plugin and took down the gain after I added the overdrive. And you can adjust this wherever you want that overdrive. I think about here sounds pretty good. And so we have the downsampling, the overdrive, and now I'm going to add on some more erosion. And this is going to add a bit of white noise. And this is like a white noise that I hear in the original sound. And you just move this ball around and you can increase it to increase the amount. Or you can change the width of the sound. So the frequencies of that noise. Then we have a wide noise. And then there's this sine, which is almost like the Redux plugin or like the downsampling distortion option in Serum. but I want that white noise sound and I don't really want the wide white noise. So I'm just going to choose noise. And so I'll just set it around there. Now after that, I'm going to add on some reverb. I have the concert hall option, but the decay is 0.2 seconds. It's a very tight reverb, barely even noticeable. I can maybe raise it up. Like that. And then after that, I'm going to add on some EQ. It's pretty bright, so I'm going to take out a lot of the top end. So this is a low cut around 5 kilohertz, and then I'm dipping around 2 kilohertz. And then also just taking out that low end. So that's the sound, and I'm going to duplicate this. And now I have 2 tracks, and let's go ahead and just label this low. And this is the MIDI from the low melody. So now I have the low melody, and I'm going to pan this 10 to the right. And then together the low and the high. So there you have it. That is the synth from Bounce by Calvin Harris. I'll put a link down below if you want to grab this preset for free, and I'll make some minor adjustments to it to put in the reverb and also a bit more distortion in the actual preset. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. And finally, if you would like to check out any of my other Serum preset packs, I'll put a link down below for you to grab those as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.